Hello YouTube. So I just got done filming my NES collection of 2019. So now I'm going to begin on my Genesis collection of 2019. And this video will probably be longer because my Genesis collection's a lot bigger. So let's begin. First, here is my Model 1 console. Bought it used on Mother's Day of this year. I paid about $30 for it, and it came with a power supply, a composite video cable, and one controller. Here is the system. It's a cool looking system. It is one of the revisions that doesn't say high definition graphics at the top. It still looks cool, although it does have quite a bit of scratches, which is a little hard to get on camera. But there's my Model 1 console. This is the controller it came with. At first it was defective, so I opened it up, cleaned it, and now it works perfectly. Here's another controller. And I don't have anything to make it output stereo sound yet, but there's the console. I actually do have the original box for the console, which is cool. I bought the original box separately for like $20, and it still has the old price sticker of where it was purchased from many years ago. So there's the box. Now let's get on to the games. Now, unlike my NES games, it's easier to get boxed Genesis games. It's easier to get a boxed Genesis game, but first, let's start off with my loose carts. Here's Earthworm Jim 2. It's a pretty good game, though the first Earthworm Jim was better in my opinion. Over here is Genesis 6-pack. This would be a good game to pick up if you just bought a Genesis. It's got 6 good Genesis games on one cartridge. It lists the titles on the cartridge, and they're all good games that came out early in the Genesis's life. It's also really affordable. Over here is Sonic and Knuckles. As you can see, it's a special cartridge. It allows you to do special things with Sonic 1, 2, or 3. I don't think I need to say much about Sonic and Knuckles. Over here is my one and only unlicensed game, Double Dragon. This is a straight up port of the arcade game. Well, it does have a bit of damage. The top part of the label is pretty beat up, but this was one of the cheaper ones I found, and I was really looking for this game, so glad I finally got it. But continuing, this is a straight up port of the arcade game, while the NES version tried to make it more of its own game, which the NES version is the version most people played back in the day. But there's the Genesis version. It is unlicensed, but it was ported to about every system you can imagine in the 90s. This really isn't a game, but more of an accessory. This is a Game Genie. At first it didn't work, but then I cleaned it out and it works perfectly. There's the little booklet it came with back there. Here are some loose sports games. The real reason I bought these was because of the case. So, here's NBA Action 94. As you can see, I have 2 copies of that game. Once I release this video, I'm going to be selling this copy. As you can see, I have the manual for that game. I really don't need to go in much about these sports games. Those are the original covers. I needed to have the cases because I had some case artwork for games. But now let's go on to my boxed Genesis games. This one I thought didn't belong on my shelf because of how beat up this cardboard box is. This is Toy Story for the Genesis. The cardboard box, it is a cardboard box as you can see, and it's really beat up. That's why I thought it didn't belong on my shelf. Sorry, it's hard to do this with one hand. But although the cardboard box is in rough shape, the game and instruction manual are in great shape. Here's the game cartridge. It's got a nice shiny label. And there's the instruction manual back there. So there's my Toy Story game. I paid like 10 or 15 bucks for that. Here is an empty case that I have. I'll go into more detail about this one later. Now, I found the original cover for this game, and it was only $5, and it is a rare game, so I decided to get the case artwork for it. It does have a tear in it, but for the price you paid, you're not going to complain, considering it's a rare game. Now, this is just an empty display case. I used this from an empty EA case I had lying around. So, now let's get on to my boxed Genesis games on the shelf. Over here is Altered Beast. Complete in the box with the instruction manual. I really wanted to get a complete in-box copy of this game for my collection. Here's the game cartridge. It does have some minor wear towards the Sega Genesis logo, but that's normal considering that it is a 30-year-old game and it's worn out. Finally got this game in my collection. Something I didn't notice until I walked out of the store was the plastic thing on the case was peeling off, so I had to tape it back together, but I paid about 15 bucks for that. Over here is Truxton. This also came out on the Genesis in 1989. This here is a repro cart. As much as I'd like to own the legitimate, fully boxed version of this game, this repro cart still does the job because it's still a really fun game. It's one of the best shoot-'em-ups. It's also got awesome music. If you're a fan of shmups, I would highly recommend this one. Out of all three versions of Truxton, the Genesis version is the best version. Over here is Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. This here is also a repro cart from Retro Gamer and Backups, because this is, again, a rare game. And before I bought this, or got it for Christmas, I actually bought this reprinted instruction book, so now it's complete in box. Over here is Afterburner 2, a good early Genesis title. It's got colorful graphics, and it's also got a really good soundtrack. There it is, complete in box with the manual. Over here is Columns. This is a real classic. It's also really affordable. There it is, complete in the box with the instruction manual. It is in great shape. I don't think I need to say much about this. Now, here is what made the Genesis popular. Sonic the Hedgehog. It is the not for resale version that you'd get when you bought the Genesis in 1991. As you can see, I still have the price sticker for how much I bought it for used. It does have, the case is a little beat up as the plastic thing is kind of peeling off. It also does not have the hang tab. Despite that the case wasn't in the best shape, the game and instruction manual are in very good shape. $13 for a complete Sonic the Hedgehog. Over here, I was a little disappointed with this one. I feel like this one particular copy was misadvertised, but this is Kid Chameleon. So there's the game cartridge. It is a reprint sticker, but in the listing, the sticker looked more clear. Here it looks a little bit fuzzy, and despite it being a reprint sticker, the sticker is slightly coming off at the top. There's the instruction manual. Once I took it out of the case, I had a really hard time putting it back in. Again, this is a reprinted manual, but you can tell just by looking at it that it's not the real thing. This manual is super glossy. I'm trying to get it to focus, but as you can see, this Repro manual is super glossy. And even when you take it out and open it up, you can feel it, that's just hand printed. Also, the cartridge is also slightly chipped. And one of the biggest complaints is how bad this thing smells. This thing smells horrible, and I can't even describe to you how bad it smells. I'm honestly thinking about either selling this or returning this copy. Over here is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I picked this up the same day I got my Model 1 Genesis. There it is, complete in the box with the manual. Here is Championship Pro AM, another good racing game that I got for my collection. This is the cardboard box re-release version, but it's still an interesting piece to my collection. I'm not gonna take it out and open it up. Something I did not notice in the listing was a small tear right there. Other than that, it's in pretty good shape for it being a cardboard box. A cool little piece for my collection. Over here is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. The case is slightly chipped right there. But there is Sonic 3 with the original case. No instruction manual. But there is the game cartridge. It is in great shape and has a nice shiny label. Now, here is Sonic Spinball. I bought this at V-Stock. Oh, I don't know what that was about. Sorry I dropped that. But there it is. It is complete, except, as you can see, the manual is a little, worn. And so is the case. I kind of wish that I had one in better condition. But there's my complete Sonic Spinball. Kinda wish it was in better shape. Over here is Vector Man. I did show off this repro box. This is a replica cardboard box. The reason why I hired Box My Games to make a replica one was because the ones I found on eBay were in rough shape. But I did make a video about that back in June. Let me know if you want me to share it with you. Here is Sonic 3D Blast. Now this here isn't the original cardboard box. It's a custom case that I ordered on eBay. But there it is. There's the game and instruction manual. The good thing about these plastic cases is that they're less damageable than cardboard boxes. So there's my complete Sonic 3D Blast. Here is an interesting piece to my collection, the European version of Sonic 2 for the Mega Drive. This is in great shape. I found this at a video game shop for $6. It is complete. There's the game and instruction manual in great shape. Another interesting piece to my collection. I do plan on, I kind of do want to own the European version of Sonic 1, but there is my complete in-box PAL version of Sonic 2 for the Mega Drive. Over here is Hard Drivin' by Tengen. There's the game cartridge right there. I paid about $2 for this. There's the game cart. In the case, unfortunately the side of it is sun faded, which kinda sucks. And the inside, I feel like this case doesn't do the best job holding the game, but in total, I only paid about $2 for this. I really wish I should have just went on eBay and bought a complete in-box copy of this game. Maybe I will do that one day. Here is the Genesis version of Miss Pac-Man. I bought this at the same place I got the European Sonic 2. It came with the original case, and those things there, like the little tab things that also hold the game, those did break off, and it doesn't come with the manual, but I only paid $3 for this. I only paid $3 for this, so for the price you paid, you're not gonna complain. I did have another copy of Miss Pac-Man, but it stopped working, so I needed to buy another copy that worked. Here is Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition with the original case, no instruction manual. I bought this at V-Stock for $10, and I'm gonna try to make this quicker because I do have a big collection, so I need to try to make it quicker. Here is Super Street Fighter 2, the largest Genesis game. No manual as well. I bought this used for like 13 bucks. Over here is my Reproduction Mega Man Wily Wars. I bet you all know the story about this. So there is the cartridge. This is a high quality reproduction. That has a battery backup. No manual. The case style is like a 1989 Genesis game. The cart is like a later Genesis style. I plan on getting that kind of cover for this case. Over here is Beavis and Butthead. I got the manual for this game yesterday. The cart I got for Christmas because I just had this empty case just lying around. The seller was supposed to give us the manual with it, but forgot to. So we bought the manual separately. The main reason I bought the game was because I had this empty case just lying around. But there's the Genesis version of Beavis and Butthead, a good addition and another interesting one to the collection. Over here is Rocket Knight Adventures. This is a fantastic platforming game made by Konami. I got a really good deal on this. There's the game cartridge. It is in great shape. I did an unboxing video of this game. I did reprint the case artwork, but there is Rocket Knight Adventures. If you like platforming games, especially on the Genesis, then I would highly recommend this one. Here is Tiny Toon Adventures, Buster's Hidden Treasure, with the original case, no manual. There's the game cartridge. I paid like $6 for it. I did get the original case for free. It did have a bit of damage that I had to tape back together, but for the price of free, I'm not going to complain, and personally, that's not a big problem to me. And this is a variant artwork with the Konami Classics up there, and the Assembled in Mexico. That version originally came in a cardboard box, but there's a case variant that I had the artwork for that I used. So over here is Shove It the Warehouse game, complete in box. The Simpsons Bart versus the Space Mutants with the original case, no manual. Over here is Battletoads Double Dragon, the Ultimate Team. It is a crossover beat-em-up game. No manual. There's the game cartridge. There were 4 different versions of this game. In the Genesis version of this game has really good music. Mickey Mania, The Timeless Adventures of Mickey Mouse. The case is a little bit chipped up there. Complete in the box with the instruction manual. I picked this up for about 20 bucks, complete in box. It's a fun little platformer. I would recommend it if you like platforming games on the Genesis. Disney's Aladdin still has the original price sticker from KB Toys, which went out of business. And it is complete in the box with the manual. The manual did have a tear on the back that I had to tape up, but this is the third best-selling Genesis game. Here is 7-Up's Cool Spot. Here is Chuck Rock 2, Son of Chuck. It's a fun little platformer for the Genesis, and it's a sequel to the first Chuck Rock. Here is The Lion King for the Genesis. It is complete in box with the manual. What's unique about the manual is that it's in full color. I bought this at V-Stock for just $5. Over here is Mortal Kombat. Complete in the box with the instruction manual. It's in great shape, and I'm glad to have it in my collection. Mortal Kombat 2. Complete. The case is chipped right there, but there's my complete Mortal Kombat 2. Over here is Combat Cars, complete in box, the cardboard box version. This is in great shape. I'm not going to open it up because of how long this video is. Right now, I think this is the second longest video on my channel. That's why I'm not going to open it up. And here's Frogger, the last Genesis game ever released. For more details on these games, you can watch my video of my Christmas gifts of 2019. So there is my Genesis collection of 2019. There are all the Genesis games that I have got. Sorry for how long this video was. It's just that I have a big Genesis collection. But this year went by really fast. But if you like this video, give it a like and leave a comment. See you in the next video, guys.